Hey guys, good to be back. Long time no see. I'm here, I'm still alive, I haven't died yet. Not for lack of trying, mind. So yeah, one of the main reasons I haven't been around is because I've just been in a rut, basically. So, as I recall, did that competition in May last year, so nearly a year ago now, and did pretty good. It was my first competition. Didn't fail any lifts, I believe. No, bench press. Didn't get the last one, but that aside, every lift was a success. Fast forward to next month, June. As you may or may not, I may or may not have talked about it before, but I ride a motorcycle as my transport, and some young lad reversed into my bike in the car park at work. It was written off. I was without a bike for about a week. Then I got a courtesy bike, things were all right. Eventually I got a new one. Had that bike for, I kid you not, about 6 weeks, and the exact same thing happened in the exact same place. Different guy, mind. But that was hella annoying. So then I was on to my third bike, and by now this is getting to sort of end of August kind of time now, so starting to feel a little bit tired from all the stress of it. If anyone's ever had to go through an insurance claim like that, you know it's a bit of a testing time, and I had 2 of those go on, and had some other problems that I'm not going to talk about here as well, which wasn't great. So anyway, that aside, I got my new bike. It's all going great, lovely, finally I can get on with it. Cost me a bit of money, but back on track. About a month later, end of September, beginning of October time, finish work, come home, come inside, go to bed, everything's going great. I get a knock on my door in the morning at 8 o'clock. My landlord's asking me if I'm in, which is a bit strange. So I responded, to which he told me, "Oh, your bike isn't outside though." What the actual fuck? Some motherfucker stole my fucking motorbike. I'll put a picture of it in so you can see it. It's fucking nice. And that just done me in. I was sort of, didn't even have a reaction to it at the time, but it got worse when I found out that I then didn't have a courtesy bike, and it ended up taking 2 months before I got the claim paid out. Thank you to Hastings Insurance for a speedy service there. Free plug for them. And then I ended up eventually, once again, having to get my parents to help me out to get myself a new one. So now here I am back. Just sort of recovered from that. Anyway, I did actually have another competition in the middle of November, which went all right. I'll put up the videos of all my lifts, so you can have a look at that. Now, the venue was a bit cramped, so when I arrived there, it was clear that it was going to be a bit difficult to get warmed up properly and to sit comfortably in between, especially the lifts, because as you know, you do your squats, then you wait until the other people have done their next ones, so the bench press, then you go up, and then the same for the deadlift again. And yeah, the seating was just so uncomfortable. By the time it got to deadlifts, I was feeling a bit cramped, a bit stiff, and quite tired as well, strangely, even though I ate quite well all through the day. But I did alright. I got a 180 squat, as you'll see. Wanted to go for 190, but my coach told me go for 185, and turns out it was a good call because I didn't get it. I feel a bit like they took the bar off me too quick, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Bench press went well. I did, however, have a brain fart moment on the second attempt. And I went too early. I mean, maybe you'll see on the footage that the judge waited quite a long time for the start command, but at the end of the day, you've got to wait until they say go. So that was that. Deadlifts went well, but as I said, I was feeling pretty tired by this point, and when it came to the third lift, I don't think my mind was really in it. I'd got 185 and attempted 195 and got it off the floor, but then body just said nope, and then I put it down, and that was that. So then once that competition was out the way, the training had left me feeling pretty thrashed, and with the added stress of all this bike business, I felt like I needed a break from the heavy lifting that I had been doing. So I decided to go and do a little bit of bodybuilding. Why not? It's the off season, and set myself a little goal just to increase my arms and legs and chest a bit. Great goals, a bit. They obviously were specific, and from I think the middle to end of November until the end of February, I managed to add an inch onto my arms. Doesn't look like anything, I know, there's still only 15 inches, it's quite pitiful really. Added an inch onto my chest as well, which is alright, it's starting to develop quite well now, and then an inch onto my legs as well. Brilliant. Unfortunately added on several inches to my waist in that time. Not the best thing to happen, but it does happen. But now that bit's finished, it's time to slim down. You know, summer's coming up. Giving myself 3 months, and I'm hoping to lose about 24 pounds, or roughly about 10 kilos. So I'm in the middle of the second week now. I started, to give you guys an idea of where I'm at, I started at 203 pounds, or that's just a shade over 92 kilograms. And now weighed myself yesterday morning, and I came in at 199 pounds, or 90.26 kilograms. So a good start, but we'll see how it goes as the weeks go on. Eating's going all right so far. Haven't really felt too tired. As I said, I'm losing weight now. Should end that, let's think, when did I start? Towards the end of May, I guess. Mid to end of May, I'll finish that. So that'll be awesome. And yeah, I'm just starting to wonder what I'm going to say next now. Oh yeah. May or may not have said that I started doing the PT certification. I should have finished that already. However, the motorcycle problems I mentioned caused me to have to put back the technical certificate side of that. I had planned to travel to a venue to do this part of the course back in November, but I didn't have my own transport, so getting there and getting back would have been a bit of a problem. I was having enough trouble getting to work in that period of time, so that painful moment when you realise you've been talking to a camera that's not on for several minutes. So anyway, as I was saying, this PT course I've been going on, it's quite a laugh. The people are quite quiet, to be honest. I mean, I'm used to being one of the more quiet people around, but these guys, they just literally sat there, they look like they're dead. Everyone's a bit tired when you've got to travel for these things, but they literally didn't look interested at all, didn't have any input. And it's just like, you might as well get the most out of the course. Because otherwise you're just wasting your time. So let's just go over it all again. I had 2 motorcycles written off and another one stolen and written off, which caused me a lot of stress and aggro. I've done another competition. I haven't got any competitions planned out yet this year, but I'll definitely do one before the end of the year, because I want to try and get as close. I want to get over 550, basically. my last competition, I got a 180 squat, a 115 bench press, and a 185 deadlift. Those are pretty good, but by the end of this year, I want to hit a 210, 220 squat. I want to hit a 140 bench press by the end of this year. It's a big goal, but I think I can do it. And deadlift, I want to hit 220, 230 again. So what would that put me at? So if we say 220, 220, that's 440. Then plus the bench press, that makes 580. So that's a big goal. That's an improvement of 100 kilograms in a year. So that's asking a lot of myself. But if you don't set a big goal, you won't get a big result. So I think it's still definitely achievable, and I'm going to do my best to achieve it. That said, it's time I got back to some of that training. Time I cooked myself some lunch, and especially right at this very moment, it's time to play some motherfucking video games. Peace out. A-Town down.